For the last 2 months, YNW Melly's lawyers have been doing everything possible to have him released on bond before the trial begins. Sources claim that YNW Melly is having a very hard time inside of jail, as a few court hearings ago, YNW Melly was being transported back to the county jail after his court time. Sources claim people from Melly's cell block was awaiting his arrival back to the county jail. Once arriving, an altercation then occurred between YNW Melly and another rapper named Rico Reckless, as YNW Melly's official Twitter account put out this statement, stating, "To all my loved ones and close friends, I wanted to let everyone know that my phone privileges have been revoked and I'm no longer allowed to call or have video visitation with anyone. That is the reason why no one has received any calls from me. But do not worry, I am in great spirits." Now mind you, YNW Melly's trial was supposed to start in May, but this incident caused all of the delays in the trial. We then even saw reports being released of, and I quote, YNW Melly being placed in solitary confinement after getting into an altercation inside of jail with another rapper named Rico Reckless from Chicago, Illinois. They are both awaiting their trials to begin. YNW Melly inside of jail has allegedly always been a problem with newer inmates, this resulting now to his lawyers trying everything possible to have the rapper released from jail. This is when some tactics were then used by YNW Melly and his lawyers to plan a prison escape. YNW Melly's first attempt of getting out of jail was during a court hearing at the beginning of September, where YNW Melly requested to leave jail immediately to treat an abscess in his teeth. This is due to the permanent diamond grill that he is still wearing to this day. Now, it was reported that YNW Melly is unable to properly clean his teeth and allegedly does not have access to a regular toothbrush or dental floss. Something as simple as a dentist appointment for a one-day thing ended up being denied by prosecutors and the judge. Then fast forward to September 30th, as news outlets started reporting, and I quote, YNW Melly is being accused of teaming up with one of his lawyers to plot a prison escape, as the Broward County Jail where YNW Melly is currently locked up did an interview with Complex, where they mentioned in the courtroom, and I quote, on April 11th, 2022, Broward Sheriff's Office received a confidential tip regarding inmates Nicholas Lewis and Jamal Demons, both housed in the same unit at the main jail, planning an escape from jail by having Demon's attorney bring in 2 handcuff keys in order to aid the escape. Additional information provided by that same source was that Lewis had an illegal item in his jail cell, as well as narcotics that was not prescribed to him. As the statement continues by saying, jail authorities searched Lewis's jail cell after the tip, which came in from another inmate in his cell block. They found multiple illegal items as well as narcotics for which he does not have a prescription for. YNW Melly's cell was also then searched, but nothing was found, except food from the commissary and an excessive amount of jail-issued clothing. Now, as mentioned earlier, YNW Melly has been getting messed with by a lot of inmates in his cell block, and this just so happens to be another case of that, as this all started when one of those inmates inside of YNW Melly's cell block informed the county jail that YNW Melly and this inmate named Lewis were up to shady things, as he mentioned they overheard them discussing a plan on escaping jail by having one of YNW Melly's lawyers sliding him handcuff keys during their next meeting. Now, YNW Melly's mother even reacted to this.
Okay, so I'm at work and I just seen this crazy story. First of all, this is just another tactic for them to try to literally just tarnish my son's character and everything. They do not want him having attorney visits in person, which will cause for ineffective counsel. So we went to court for that. And they took his phone calls and they have him locked down. They had no evidence whatsoever that his attorneys did anything wrong to prove these accusations, but they knew it would get picked up by the media. So when we get ready to pick a jury, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, it's going to be, oh, this kid tried to escape. Oh, this kid tried to do all these things. This is all fake because they do not have a case.
Now, even in that video, YNW Melly's mom mentions how the feds have no evidence against him. It's just inmates going after YNW Melly, as well as prosecutors doing anything to make him look bad in front of the jury. Now, this makes sense, as on July 6th, there was new paperwork being released revealing there's not enough evidence for YNW Melly to be subjected to the penalty within his case. Reports were being released of sloppy paperwork by the feds, as well as issues in the court system, resulting in the penalty being dropped to Melly. Then also reports of good defenses coming out from YNW Melly's side and his lawyers. As Melly's mother wrote on Instagram, the penalty has officially been removed from YNW Melly's case. Thank you, Jesus. Hashtag Free Melly 2022. Now, with the trial beginning soon, the courts are starting to see the defenses from YNW Melly's side. Just as 100K Track said in an interview with DJ Academics, where he stated this.
He built a real great solid team away from just being innocent, because he wouldn't do such a crime. He prepared himself and got a proper, defense. Their job is to handle their stuff in trial, not on social media. You guys are taking it that way. If they say they got DNA in a car, I'm just gonna tell you, Melly DNA was found in the car. You're gonna think, yeah, his DNA was found in the car the day of the. Oh, he jumped in a car and his DNA was in the car. He did it, okay? But you're not gonna put the fact that this was his car for 6-7 months on those documents and dockets and just automatically be like, yo, he's fried. You don't even know what the defense is. You don't even know what the rebuttal is. You don't even know why that situation occurred. You hear ballistics flying. You don't know what the defense is. You hear this, you hear that. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest.
Now, 100K Track is otherwise known as YNW Melly's music manager, and he would know the ins and outs of YNW Melly's case this far. So if YNW Melly's defense team has done as good as a job as sources claim, YNW Melly could be released from jail within the next 3 months, as the trial is now beginning. However, prosecutors knew YNW Melly's team was beginning to have great faith in his release. So here is where things then turned ugly. Prosecutors brought up a new piece of evidence against the Florida rapper. They announced a new court order stating, ordered and adjudged that defendant's motion to suppress evidence obtained from T-Mobile warrant is hereby denied. Now, YNW Melly's lawyers originally filed a motion asking the judge to make all of the evidence against YNW Melly provided from T-Mobile unusable in the courtroom. The evidence provided to law enforcement from T-Mobile is massive in this case and actually could become the final piece the feds need to lock up YNW Melly for life. The T-Mobile evidence states, these particular cell phones, which were both iPhone 10s, were on the T-Mobile network. And so T-Mobile has a very interesting feature where it will tell you the environment the cell phone is in. So from these cell phone records, I can tell you the exact moment demons got out of the car and staged the drive-by location. Also on YNW Melly's cell phone, they found a video on it. As the evidence report states, then also we have a video of Mr. Demons admitting to doing an act towards 2 individuals in the head. This video was on Mr. Demon's cell phone, which was brought to my office by Jameson Francis. That's how we had that, and that is all of the evidence that Your Honor has. Then the worst piece of evidence of all was found. As reported by Complex, they stated a new piece of evidence stating, there is one Instagram exchange that took place hours after the passings, which was obtained by Complex via a public records request. In it, YNW Melly's Instagram account says, I did that in one message, followed 2 minutes later by another message saying, shh. The timing of these Instagram DMs will be getting used by the state to make the case that those messages amount to an admission by YNW Melly's guilt, as YNW Melly said these messages to this mystery man only about 4 hours after YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie's passings hit news headlines. Now, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like on it and don't forget to subscribe. It's been District Trending, and I'm out. Peace.